So you just started playing Hollow Knight, and you heard it's got a lot of fun boss fights, but you don't care about any of that. You care about the bad boss fights. But how do you find the worst boss in all of Hollow Knight? Well, I've created a guide just for you. This guide will explain all the steps needed to start fighting the stupidest boss in the game as if you just started a brand new playthrough with this one goal in mind and are planning on taking a semi-normal route. But in the game that's this open, that's pretty hard to define. After walking through Dirtmouth and talking to Elderbug, you'll find yourselves in the Forgotten Crossroads, a sprawling cave system of mystery for you to explore. You're going to want to take a detour near the bottom and take out the single mother of seven so that you can enter this building and snap Sly out of his delirium. Progressing normally and beating bosses in the first try because you're just too good, you'll gain your first spell and eventually enter Green Path, which is basically just more Forgotten Crossroads, except green this time. After more very natural progression, you'll wind up entering a room where you'll find this guy getting absolutely destroyed by a big bench fly. You're going to want to try to help him down and take out the big fly so he doesn't get eaten and he can introduce himself properly as Zote the Mighty before he yells at you for interfering with his fierce battle and makes a threat on your life, before you head out on more serious dangers.
Shaw!
After your fight with Hornet from Silksong, you'll gain the ability to dash and three guys will appear out of nowhere to sentence you to a nap, before you wake up and head out to a new area of the map, the Fungal Waste. The Fungal Waste is basically just Green Path, but filled with mushrooms and mantises and acid, so it really shouldn't be that difficult if you're careful. More progression will lead you to the game's wall jump ability, which also serves as the trigger that gets this guy killed if you haven't saved him yet. And if you were to try to return to where you left him, all that will be left is his skull, which serves no purpose other than making you feel bad for what you did. You should feel bad. But since that didn't happen, you can head through this inconspicuous fake wall, where you can put your wall climbing skills to the test and reach poor Bretta and save her from her loneliness and snap her from her delirium just like you did to Sly. Unfortunately, she's just gonna fall right back into another delirium because you're literally him and the man of her dreams and you can't blame her for any of that. If you haven't done so already, returning back to Dirtmouth will allow you to see all the bugs you saved from underground. Sly has opened up shop where he is going to scam you for a lantern that you're gonna want to buy later. Zote is outside telling the world about his mighty triumphs in the caves below. And of course, Bretta is in her home where she already has merch set up for you, and a fanfiction written all about the two of you where you are her knight in shining armor. Anyways, you'll likely enter the City of Tears next. Once there, you can find upgrades for your nail, gain a new essential spell, and more importantly, find your man Zote complaining about getting wet in a city that literally never stops raining. Poor him! Unfortunately, there's not much else to do here, so you're going to want to head back to the Fungal Waste and complete a very long boss fight to gain the respect of the Mantis Village and access to this mysterious door. Exploring the absolute joy that lies behind this mysterious door, you'll eventually run into your man Zote once again, who is a bit tied up at the moment in his crazy adventures. After fighting some reanimated husks, you'll be able to let him down and hear him yell at you for nearly striking him with your sword, and you'll once again move on with your day. Next, you'll find your way somehow to the Kingdom's Edge, where you'll find a great Colosseum located along the top. Inside the Colosseum, you'll once again find Zote in a spot of bother, though he swears it's intentional. Anyways, you're going to want to enter the Colosseum, and after fighting hordes of horrible bugs, the Colosseum will unleash its greatest horror of all on you. It's Zote. You're going to want to smack him around a little bit like a discarded cat toy before you head on to the next part of your grand plan. If you were to travel back to Dirtmouth at this time, you'll see that Bretta is outside absolutely infatuated by Zote's Tales of Triumph at the arena. She's also replaced all of her merch of you with merch of Zote and made appropriate changes to her fanfiction, of course. For some reason, you'll still need one more thing before you're allowed to fight this super stupid boss fight, so you're going to want to travel to the Crystal Peaks using either the lantern Sly sold you or the spell you gained from the City of Tears, and then head to the upper right region where you'll gain the Crystal Heart ability, which will allow you to gain another upgrade. While you're in Crystal Peaks, if you haven't done so already, you should explore until you run into the three guys from earlier and unlock the Dream Nail, which is essential to fighting a lot of the bosses in this game, including the one that you're after. Heading down near the bottom of Hollow Nest, you'll use your Crystal Heart ability to cross a large chasm where you can fight one of your discarded siblings and unlock the ability to double jump, because what kind of platforming game would this be without that? Now that you can double jump properly, the game logically decides that you should be able to fight this dreaded stupidest boss, so you can head back to Bretta's house and enter her basement where you'll find her shrine dedicated to Zote. Upon striking the Shrine of her Dream Nail, you'll enter the fantasy world that Bretta lives in, where she is queen and you can see Zote the way she sees him in all his glory, Grey Prince Zote, or, more accurately, terrifying, beautiful, powerful Great Prince Zote. This boss is truly awful, and his moves and logic go against that of all other bosses, so he is likely to destroy you in your first few attempts. But if you continue exploring and search for health upgrades, nail upgrades, charms, and abilities, you'll eventually be able to overcome the challenge and defeat Great Prince Zote once and for all. Only this isn't really the end of it, as Zote only gets stronger the more you beat him, gradually introducing harder enemies, explosives, and starting on your 4th attempt and continuing all the way to your 10th, an extra heart of damage on every hit, no matter how stupid or unjust they are. The amount of adjectives before Zote's name also increases after every time you beat him. Upon beating Zote for the 3rd time, Greta will begin to realize that maybe he's not as great as he previously led her to believe, and upon defeating Zote for the 4th time, Greta will give up and leave Hollow Knight entirely, never to be seen again, leaving Zote to ramble to himself forever. If you're crazy enough to beat Zote 10 times and take on the 8 heart damage dealing menace that the invincible, fearless, sensual, mysterious, enchanting, vigorous, diligent, overwhelming, gorgeous, passionate, terrifying, beautiful, powerful, Great Prince Zote is, then the statue will turn gold. And that is it. You've done it. You've beaten the dumbest boss in the game. Now you just have to beat him near the end of a 42 boss long boss rush and you'll be done.